What online resources do you have for your art inspiration? Hi, my name's Carrie, and today on Artist Strong, I'm going to break down and share some of the resources that keep me motivated and making. The first resource that I consistently refer to is the Jealous Curator by Danielle Crissa. If you haven't heard this yet, it's a podcast also called Art for Your Ear, and in her website, The Jealous Curator, she shares different artwork that originally made her jealous. That's why she gave it the name that she did. Now, Danielle Crissa is an established artist in her own right and still does all kinds of wonderful work to support and spread the news about other artists' work that she admires. I love listening to her podcast while I create, and her website's updated weekly with all kinds of new artists to get you thinking and making. My second resource for you today is My Modern Met. It's a website that I'm obsessed with because I love unique use of materials, and I'm constantly sharing it to my Facebook page for our Artist Strong community because they always find artists using the most unique materials as the basis or the sole medium for their artwork. If you want to be inspired to think outside the box, go to Modern Met. You won't be disappointed. A new addition to my listening list is the podcast The Lonely Palette. A good friend of mine recommended it to me, and I have not been disappointed by her recommendation. It's a wonderful podcast that shares snippets from art history. We go into museums and hear people's opinions on the artist and their work, and we are given permission to reflect and form our own opinion about their art. If you want a little mini art history lesson, I highly recommend that you start listening to The Lonely Palette. My final resource I'm going to share with you today is another podcast. Yes, I have a podcast problem, and it's called Elise Gets Crafty. I really appreciate this podcast because sometimes as a creator, we can often be alone in a studio space working and making our art. And in these conversations that Elise shares with us, we hear a bunch of other creators making strategies that they use to sell or promote or make more art, and you feel like you're with a community of artists. The topics are always positive, they're active, they get you to take action, and I really like having that kind of positive uplift, especially to the start of my day. I've linked all these resources below today's video, and now it's your turn. Be creatively courageous. Tell me one resource online that you can't live without. And I challenge you, don't be tempted to share your own website or art. Really, tell me what inspires you, who around you in your community, digitally or even in real life, gets you thinking about your art and challenges you and has you making. I'd love to create a compiled resource from the resources I've shared with you today and all of the ones that you share in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.